In this video, we're going to give you a brief overview of the team-based learning strategy. As a quick summary, the team-based learning strategy, TBL, is a collaborative learning and teaching strategy that enables students to follow a structured process to enhance their engagement and quality of learning. The TBL process consists of a sequence of individual and grouped activities. First, teachers prepare and share with students a set of materials before each TBL lesson. Then the TBL lesson starts with an individual test. After the individual test, the students are put into teams and take the same individual test, but now as a team. Once the team test is finished, the teacher might have a clarification session. After this is over and students are clear on the subject's concepts, then they apply the knowledge in real case scenarios. Once this is done, there's an optional activity where the students can give constructive feedback to each other to improve their teamwork in future TBL lessons. But now let's deconstruct TBL in its learning activities. First, students are provided with a set of preparation materials before the lesson starts. These preparation materials can be readings, presentation slides, videos, papers, etc. Learning outcomes are provided for each topic to indicate what students are expected to learn from the material. This material can be emailed or made available to students via the course website or other means. The important aspect of this activity is that students study the materials before they come to class. After the study of the preparation materials, the next activity is the individual test that usually takes place in class. The TBL term for this activity is Individual Readiness Assurance Process Test, or IRAT. The IRAT test consists usually of about 5 to 20 multiple choice or very short answer VSA questions that focus on important concepts which students have reviewed in the preparation materials. Its main aim is to assess the preparedness of each student. The test is conducted under test conditions, and as the student answers the questions, they're not given feedback or a score. This means that students are not told whether the answer they have selected is correct or incorrect. Why we do this will become clear when we cover the next activity. Right after this individual test, the team test begins. Not surprisingly, the team test is called the TRAT, short for Team Readiness Assurance Process Test. The TRAT test contains the same questions as the previous IRAT, but with a couple of twists. Immediate feedback is given when selecting an answer, and the scoring is different as now students are performing the test as a team. Let's look at how the TRAT works. As the test is to be performed as a team, each team would need to select a team leader that would scratch the answers on behalf of the team. This might sound odd, but it will make sense once we explain the peculiarities of the TRAT. The TRAT uses scratch cards for each answer to a question. So when the team agrees to choose an answer, then the leader scratches the selected answer, and immediate feedback as to whether the answer is correct is instantaneously displayed. If the selected answer is incorrect, the team can scratch other answers until the correct one is found. This brings us to the second peculiarity of the TRAT. The scoring in the TRAT for each question is based on the number of attempts until the team attains the correct answer. For instance, let's imagine the team consensus is to choose answer A and instructs their leader to scratch it. If it's correct, then the whole team will get 4 points for this question. This is because they managed to get the correct answer on their first attempt. However, if the first answer they choose as a team is D, the leader scratches it and the feedback's incorrect, then the team will need to try for another answer. If on their second attempt they choose the correct answer, the team will get 2 points for this question. In the same line, if the team attempts 2 incorrect answers before reaching the correct one, then the team will only get 1 point for this question. Beyond 3 incorrect attempts, the team will get no points for their further selections. The beauty of the TRAT is the negotiation that takes place amongst the students to choose the answer to scratch. As students might have different preferences for their first answer choice, they need to provide their fellow team members convincing evidence as to why choose one option over another. These conversations are very enriching and can get a little heated. But once team consensus is reached, then the leader would scratch the selected answer on behalf of the team. If the answer is correct, then usually a loud cheer can be heard. If it's incorrect, then the team will need to reconvene their ideas, recalibrate their understanding, and select the next appropriate answer. The team moves through all the questions until the end of the test. By the end of the test, all students should know what all the correct answers are for all the questions. However, at times, some of the teams might have knowledge gaps, and lecturers or content experts may need to address these with them in a mini lecture after the TRAT. During this mini lecture, the content expert is able to clarify the conceptual gaps and also answer students' burning questions about the subject matter. Different teams are also allowed to answer each other's questions, with the lecturer only facilitating the discussion and intervening when need be. Now that the doubts are clarified and knowledge gaps addressed, the next stage is to apply this knowledge to solve concrete questions and cases. To do so, students are presented with application exercises, which can consist of questions or real case scenarios that challenge them to apply concepts learnt and make appropriate judgments. Once the team finishes an application exercise, each team may be called to simultaneously report on their answers and may be asked to defend or explain their choice to the rest of the class. This initiates a fruitful debate between teams with the intention to provide various possible solutions to the application problem. In some cases, after teams' discussions, the lecturer might reveal what the correct solution is. By the end of the application exercises, students should have a solid understanding of the subject matter, from the theory to its real application. After the application exercises, an optional but periodical activity called self and peer review allows each student to assess the contributions of them and their teammates to the team's success and their own learning. This is a formative process in which students get to practice giving constructive feedback to one another. And this concludes this brief introduction of team-based learning. Thank you for watching.